Saturday. Christmas comes early.
Unbelievable! Welcome to this incredible scene.
Bills.
To the end zone!
Chargers.
It's a touchdown!
An exclusive NFL game.
That's fantastic!
Live in primetime.
Wow!
Only on Peacock.
With a Christmas gift to their fans.
They're having some fun now.
Bills versus Chargers. Saturday, 7:30 Eastern. Exclusively on Peacock.
This episode is brought to you by Google Pixel, the official fan phone of the NBA and WNBA. The new Pixel 8 and Pixel 8 Pro are built different. How? Take the Audio Magic Eraser tool. It helps block out distracting crowd noise so your play-by-play commentary sounds crystal clear. The only phone engineered by Google brings out the audio you care about so your videos sound as crisp as they look. Learn more at googlestore.com/pixelnba. Audio Magic Eraser requires Google Photos app. May not work on all audio elements.
Introducing Royal Caribbean's newest ship, Icon of the Seas, the ultimate family vacation. The ultimate 6 slides, 8 neighborhoods, 0 compromise vacation. The ultimate never done that, can't wait to do it vacation. The ultimate chillin' by a different pool every day of the week vacation. This is the Icon of Vacations. Icon of the Seas, arriving in 2024. Book today. Come seek the Royal Caribbean. Ships Registry, Bahamas.
Reboot your credit card with Apple Card, the credit card created by Apple. It gives you unlimited daily cash back that you can now choose to grow in a high-yield savings account that's built right into the Wallet app. Apply for Apple Card now in the Wallet app on iPhone and start growing your daily cash with savings today. Apple Card subject to credit approval. Savings is available to Apple Card owners subject to eligibility requirements. Savings accounts provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC. Terms apply.
Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking.
Back at it again with another 3 points against Seattle. It's real. We're the best team in the world. We're going to win the cup. We are the Shades of Blue Soccer Show. My name is Cody Bradley. Thad Bell, Robert Russert. Thad Bell is not here. It's just muscle reflex. I say his name. He dropped out. Audio's not working. It is Cody, Robert, and David are here today to celebrate the 3 points, the first 3 points of this season. This episode,
the first dub of the season.
I guess that's true. The first 3 points from one individual game. Thank you for really stepping on that. This episode is brought to you by Tim Melia's Self-Defense Dojo. Protect yourself from attackers, midfielders, and defenders. Tim Melia's Self-Defense Dojo. Yellow when it should be red. I guess that client wanted another run of engagement after hearing the boos from the Seattle fans in this 2-1 win over Seattle.
What are you talking about?
Hey, look. Tim avoided a red for body slamming Christian Roldan. Alex Roldan avoided a red for a second yellow, like what should have been a second yellow.
Can we call that even now?
It all evens out. Evens out.
I think that
even.
I think we start by talking about how SB Nation dropped the Blue Testament and kept Sounder at heart. But who came out big today? SB Nation.
We win there again.
Ocean smells like a bad fish market. All right? That's right. I hope he's listening.
There are more games to go, David. So
I don't care. I don't care.
It's
no,
1-1.
This and beat St. Louis, and we could lose the rest of them, and I wouldn't care.
That's very true. I feel the exact same about that. No, this was a really glorious game. It was real. Sporting Kansas City scored 2 goals. They were able to pass the ball around, move it up the field using only their feet, and move it around the field in between 10 other guys, and then kick it past one guy who can use his hands and get it into the back of the net. It was really something. I'm telling you, they really might have something here with this whole playing soccer thing. If we can do that next week, David, we're gonna be looking pretty good.
Yeah. Maybe we'll not be in the cellar of the league anymore.
How close are we? I don't even look at the table anymore. Are we? We're still there.
Yeah. Why would you? Yeah.
Behind on goal differential to LA.
Okay, I know LA is really bad as well, so it can't be too far off.
Yeah, just goal differential.
Okay, a couple more of those, and we'll be sitting pretty and out of the wooden spoon spot.
You know,
So,
if the
First
team
time we've
plays,
seen Gotti and Thommy and Voltaire in the midfield, which was nice.
Yes,
They
the
looked good.
preferred midfield, even
They
if it
looked
was
good.
for only 45 minutes for Gotti Kinda.
Yeah.
It was a good 45 minutes. He played a role in the goal with Erik Thommy, Erik Thommy played well for the first time in a long time. There were a couple moments there at the beginning. I'm like, he just can't do anything. He still can't do anything. And then he turned it on. He played a role in both of those goals. Beautiful pass to Alan Pulido. And yeah, the goal from Alan there, that's just one of those, oh my God, we have a striker. It's like you genuinely forget what it's like to have a striker. But sometimes other teams can do this. You just kick the ball into the box, and a guy can kick it in the goal if he's really good at soccer. And that just felt that was very nice. It was a simple play, but a great ball from Thommy, and we have missed that tremendously.
well,
A couple of factors there. Seattle helped us out a little bit. Number one, with their formation, so we kind of overrun them in the midfield. But we got numbers in the box, guys. You know, it helps when you've got teammates in there to put the ball in the back of the net, and the movement in the box was nice. But hey, Gotti Kinda did not pass that ball to Erik Thommy. That was a bad touch, but hey, it worked out.
I don't even think Gotti gets to that ball.
Yeah, I don't. He was gonna score himself. I don't call that a
You
bad
think so?
touch.
Yeah, I think Tommy sniped one from him.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. We've talked about this for weeks now, is that this team doesn't attack through the middle. And last week we talked about how we didn't have midfielders making late arriving runs in the box. And that's exactly what it was a late arriving run through the middle by Gotti Kinda, put it in the dangerous spot. He did. It was great. It's exactly what we'd been missing.
Well, I think we've heard a little bit from Peter, but I think him and Erik have been having some discussions the last couple of weeks about, hey, this is where we need you to be. This is what we need you to do. And I think it's really starting to pay off. And it helps to have, Alan and Gotti on the field with him too. So,
Well, and Robert, I think you're exactly right, which is that I'm sure there's a combination of things, but it probably helps for him to not have to feel like he has to do it by himself.
yeah.
Sure. And Johnny's back, like early in the season, we didn't have Alan, we didn't have Gotti, we didn't have Johnny. And so I'm sure he felt the weight of the world on his shoulders. And so to have people playing well, I'm sure just alleviates some of that pressure and allows him to play a little bit more freely.
Yeah, I mean, Shallowy and Russell weren't big names today. Shallowy was involved a little bit, though. But, if we got those three guys in the middle, it does make a huge difference.
Didn't Daniel get the assist? Well,
Yeah.
the pass before the pass, the hockey assist.
Yeah.
And then honestly, I thought Johnny played well late. Like when everybody's legs were dead and it was time to try and kill off the game. I thought Johnny, he didn't score, he didn't assist, but I thought his play late in the game was really important and that he played with a lot of, gravitas.
You're right, but there at the very, very end, there were two moments he should have just booted the ball 100 yards away, and he didn't. And then they ended up getting that one last free kick. The last 5 minutes of that game, I was not in a good place. The whole time I was just like, I don't care. They're always it's Seattle. They're gonna score. I don't even care. We're not gonna win this game. And then it got into stoppage time, and I was a wreck. I was like, we can't lose this now. It's gonna be so embarrassing if we lose this. So one thing I thought was interesting about that, this is not a knock I necessarily noticed earlier in the season with this team, but something that happened over and over again. This could have just been poor from Seattle, but it seemed like we were pouncing on mistakes or stealing it or intercepting passes way more this game. We were just like on top of them repeatedly. And I don't know if they just came out of there with more energy or what, but it didn't seem like we have been doing that at all this year. But they were capitalizing on a bad pass or just, getting in the passing lanes, intercepting passes, stealing the ball, like winning tackles. They just seemed to be all over them, and I don't know where that came from.
So it's funny, Cody, because statistically, we've actually been winning possession in the opponent's half more than any other team in the league this year.
Yeah.
But then once we win possession, once our press wins us the ball back in the attacking half, then we don't do anything with it. But they seem to be playing with a lot more urgency today.
Urgency is a good word for that.
Yeah, and the result of that was the ball was moving a lot quicker, which has been an issue.
Jake Davis, the Jake Davis Appreciation Hour.
Stud. Starting right back for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how. Yeah, he's got the nod there. I don't know how you don't let him start every game until something goes wrong.
I don't know, Cody. Robert just rolled his eyes so hard he looked at the inside of his brain. So, Robert, lay it on us. Why don't you
well-rounded show here?
Tell Jake Davis why you think he sucks.
I don't think he sucks. I just don't think he's the wonder boy that you guys are making him out to be here briefly. I mean, when Jordan Morris went over to his side, he had issues with Morris, that's for sure. And again, the midfield setup that Seattle had played into our hands. No-Job Paulo played in our hands as well. But yeah, I mean, Jake was good. I'm not saying he wasn't good. It's just he's not the end-all be-all yet.
Yeah, I don't think I said anything more that he's still just the situation of our outside backs has not been great. And so it's just good to have somebody there who comes into a position and says, this is mine. We haven't had somebody do that in a long time. He got a chance and he was like, this is where I'm playing.
You know who I didn't miss today? Is Robbie.
Graham Zusi.
I thought that's who I thought you were going to say there.
No, it is Robbie. I did not miss him out there at all. Obviously, Fontes and Rosero did a good job together, and I thought they did a really good job of not losing the ball in the back, because the last 3 or 4 games we've had issues in the back, giving the ball away easily, and Emilio's been a part of that too. That was much better today.
Fontes Stan.
A little bit, maybe. Yeah, he's got issues
Fonte
too.
played well. Fonte played well. But I want to talk about Jake more, though, because he does not offer going forward what peak Graham Zusi did, right? Like, he's not going to pick out a pass the way that peak Zusi was, but he is playing the right back spot the way that he ought to be, which is he's very defensively sound. Everybody's having problems this year containing Jordan Morris. I think he's got 8 goals in 11 games. Yeah. But he did a great job of bottling up Leo Chu. He was positionally solid. And in the last few games, he's combined well with his teammates. Like, he's looked solid. Is he going to be a best 11 player? No. But I think he's done enough to keep the starting job until something else happens.
Yeah. That's Robert. Us just saying that we wanted him in the starting job meant that we were.
You said for the rest of the year.
Listening him. Well, until something goes wrong. Yeah.
But yeah, he's keeping it simple. That's a good thing to do in his position. Yeah, he's not dumb.
David, you like to complain about the refs a lot. Do you have anything on that for this one?
Yeah, sure. I don't understand how Alex Roldan didn't get a second yellow. It was a pretty cynical pull. I mean, that's a second yellow in every league in the world, from youth soccer all the way up to
I
the
will
EPL.
I will say that Thommy did not sell it well, and maybe that is why he went down very easy. But it was the tactical foul was there. It doesn't matter if the guy goes down easy or not. It's everyone in the stadium knows what the player is doing right there, and he had no business being out there.
Overall, though, I thought the center ref had a good game. He carded us. He carded Johnny for our antics. We really embraced the dark arts, which I don't love to see from Sporting. And I don't think Peter and the guys like playing that way, but I think we were desperate for the 3 points. But overall, I thought the ref had a good match. The PK was a pretty legit PK. I don't really know what Logan was doing. I know you're a Logan and Dinbay stan.
Yeah, that was one of those.
How are the Cavs this week, Cody? Because are you on the Logan and Dinbay?
Logan legs.
Cav plan, the Logan legs.
Logan legs. They're getting better every week. It's a tough workout, let me tell you. No, that play was one of those. That was like, I think he was expecting more resistance. Like, he thought he was like banging into a guy there with a ball up in the air, and he just turned around and it was right in the guy's face. And yeah, it was an awkward play, but it was a deserved penalty.
I think it was just the powerful Cavs that just forced him into the air quicker than he thought.
Just such a low center of gravity.
Like, whoa.
Yeah, he's just powerful.
I'm losing it here.
Low center of gravity. He doesn't know his own strength.
I was terrified when it happened that he was gonna get red carded for striking Montero in the face, and I was like, "There's no intent behind it. There's nothing to it." but he clearly got him. It's clearly a PK, and then I was just waiting for the red card.
Well, the semantics of MLS, hands to the face is generally an automatic red, but a forearm, an elbow to the cheek is fair game, I guess.
I don't know. I didn't read Sounder at heart, so I don't know how upset they were about that play. But other than the
Had to get
PK,
that in, didn't you, David?
yeah, Sounder at heart sucks. SB Nation picked wrong, and Ocean smells like Pikes Park Marketplace. Pikes Peak Marketplace, whatever the place is called, the fish market in Seattle, whatever it's called. But no, I mean, Sporting's defense was stout today. They didn't give up a lot, not a lot of good looks for Seattle. They played great.
Seattle's XG was significantly 1.4 to our 0.8, but that's stats for you.
Interesting.
Another stat that really stood out to me is we only had 6 crosses in the whole match. That's incredibly low for Sporting Kansas City.
Well, good, because our crosses never do anything.
Exactly.
Okay, let's see here. Our rundown now makes no sense because we don't have that here. So the order of which everywhere was going and the breaks we were taking, it's now a little bit of anarchy for this one.
This episode is brought to you by Columbia Sportswear. It's snowing again, and that wind chill is killer. But you're not worried about that because you shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection. It's warmth perfected with tiny gold dots that reflect your body heat inside and protect you from the cold outside. No snow or chilly temps can stop you now. Go out anyway. Shop the Omni Heat Infinity Collection now at Columbia.com/infinity.
The holidays are a time to feel and create joy. And what could be more joyous than the look on her face as she unwraps a stunning new jewelry piece from Blue Nile? How about getting 50% off your purchase? Blue Nile offers premium quality, priced below traditional retail. Their online experts are available 24/7 to answer any questions and make sure you've picked the perfect gift. For a limited time, you can get 50% off at BlueNile.com. That's 50% off at BlueNile.com.
Let's switch gears here to the Open Cup and Don Garber. He recently made some comments about, I think the question was about the lack of streams, the lack of visibility for that last round of Open Cup matches. And he seemed to be fine with that. He doesn't like the product that MLS teams are putting out. At least that's kind of what he was indicating there. Robert, what do you think of Garber's comments?
Well, I mean, he wasn't saying anything about MLS teams. He was at a board of directors meeting for the USSF. The Open Cup is a U.S. soccer thing.
Right. Okay.
It's not an MLS thing, and the Open Cup needs MLS more than MLS needs the Open Cup now, I think.
Yes.
But, the guy who said the comments initially that Garber was reacting to, I don't remember his name, apologies, basically agree with what Garber was saying. Yeah, there's some things we need to work on. And Garber said, hey, we're looking forward to working with you on those things. So I don't see anything wrong with what Garber said at all. I think he was just saying what a lot of people are thinking. Hey, we need this to be promoted better. We need better situations for the matches, and if the tournament should be what it should be.
Okay, and the next round of games is all being streamed on YouTube.
Wednesday evening, Houston.
Wednesday evening.
I will
Sporting
say,
KC, Houston.
I'm disappointed in Garber for kind of the way that all that came off. The MLS clubs are the financial powerhouses of U.S. soccer. It's the top of the pyramid, and every owner's a billionaire. So if you want the Open Cup to be better, that he was complaining about the pitch quality. Well, U.S. soccer could do more to, make the lower divisions have better pitches. And you see this in England, which is that the Premier League teams help pay, further down the table to they make payments to help boost the rest of the leagues. And so, for instance, like Sporting could help fund Tulsa Athletics field, right? It wouldn't cost, Cliff Elliott wouldn't notice the money was gone, but the club could do more to help build those pitches to make them better quality. If the league really wanted the Open Cup to be broadcast better and to look more professional, they could do more with that. They're the ones who have the media connections to try and partner with like ESPN Plus or whatever. So, all of his critiques were pretty legit, but also like Don Garber is uniquely situated to kind of fix a lot of those problems.
Yeah, it's on
So
him.
as far as revenue goes, the MLS and World Cup games used to be a package that they'd sell together. That's no longer the case, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm taking your word for it that was the case. So
Okay, I don't think that's the case any longer. So I don't think the revenue streams have changed a little bit. I don't know what's going on with that. So I don't know how the finances work out. But yeah, as we know, not many MLS teams are making money. And I guess you could look at it and say, hey, the more they support the Open Cup, the more money can be made overall, which, would be split and help out everybody. But, don't know all the details on that.
if that was the norm up until this Apple deal, then that does kind of beg the question, like, all right, Apple, how much were they asking to also cover US Open Cup that you didn't want to dish out for that? Like, it seems like if you really did want to support this, then that would be something you would also throw in there as well.
Could be.
Well, how do we feel about the game on Wednesday?
Houston Dynamo on Wednesday. That's always a good match. I feel pretty good after this one. Well, a good match, a good one to watch, I guess. That was a fair point there, David. It's always a scrappy, almost fights everywhere. That's fun. I like that.
Or is
It's the
David tired
Nagamura.
of Houston in the Open Cup?
It's the Nagamura Derby.
Yes.
Darby.
So how do you feel about it? Are you feeling good after this win? Are they going to be riding high? Are they going to play SKC2 lineup or what?
I don't know what to expect given we just had, most of our good players play a complete match other than Gotti. I don't know what the rotation's going to look like. I don't know that this team has the pieces to rotate and still compete. They're traveling down to Houston where, I haven't looked at the weather, but I can't imagine it's going to be pleasant. And then we've got a game on the weekend. So I really don't know what to expect. I know Vermes doesn't punt on games unless it's the League's Cup.
Yes,
So
you're allowed to punt that one.
I could see us fielding a strong team, but logic would suggest to maybe not field that strong of a team and focus on the league itself, and maybe rotate in Jean-Yves and a couple of the other guys. I really don't know.
They changed the order or the format of the Open Cup. So how many wins away are we from a trophy?
So this is round of 32. So that's
Oh, it
one.
is. Okay.
15 would be 2. 8 would be a third win. Semifinal would be a fourth. So it's taken 5 wins.
So MLS teams are entering every year with 64 teams. That's like how that's
depends. It depends.
There's certain MLS teams that would just entered this round that we're going into.
18 teams enter in the third round. And then the round of 32 has the 4 MLS teams that were in the 2023 Champions League and then the 4 next best MLS teams.
According to last year's finishes or what?
Yeah.
Huh, I missed all of that. Thank you for informing me.
Well, Thommy did come out in the 75th minute, so he could be good for significant time come Wednesday possibly. But you know what, I don't know. I'll throw this out there. I'd rather see a home win come Saturday than a win Wednesday night. Discuss.
I think that they should very much try to win this one.
I think in terms of pragmatically with the fans, need to focus on winning at home against Minnesota.
Yeah.
I on our site like the US Open Cup more than a lot of our commenters and posters do.
Me too.
I love the Open Cup because I also love the FA Cup. But
the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. We love that in KC.
But I think, in the face of a fan revolt, in the face of a mutiny, I think the smartest thing to do would be to go all in on putting on a good show over the weekend to make the fans happy.
Well, just a thought on this, who's going to play come Wednesday. Thad is making comments as we do this here. Did we hear anything about Pulido? He looked like he came off maybe limping a little bit? Did we hear anything about him?
Wow, I missed that entirely.
Thad says we did not hear anything. Okay. So
I kind of like Thad as the silent producer who's just in the chat.
That is speaking from another realm. I like that. This is helpful.
Yeah.
And he's
Not to suggest that I don't want Thad on, but I do like the idea of the silent. Well, no, that's not nice, Thad. That's not nice. But I do like the idea of us having like a silent producer in the chat.
Yes, I've wanted that. I've wanted that for a while, and so I can stop worrying about pushing buttons over here.
What are we doing?
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You might say all kinds of stuff when things go wrong, but these are the words you really need to remember. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. They've got options to fit your unique insurance needs, meaning you can talk to your agent to choose the coverage you need, have coverage options to protect the things you value most, file a claim right on the State Farm mobile app, and even reach a real person when you need to talk to someone. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
I had a friend text me during this game as we were winning, and he thought that this meant that the ownership was going to get bailed out and that they don't have to respond to the Cauldron letter anymore. I mean, I obviously don't think that that's true, but it does beg the question if they will put this off for another week, David.
Well, I mean, I don't think they're going to fire Vermes. Unless we get just absolutely smoked Wednesday and on Saturday.
But the letter from the Cauldron specifically asked for a response, or at least when they submitted it, they requested a response from the club. And the week passed. I guess it hasn't been a full week. That was released on Tuesday, Wednesday. I think it was on Wednesday. So not a full week, but no response from the team. And Robert, does this win let them off the hook from doing that?
I think first of all, the Cauldron did not call it the players. So, it puts the players in a great situation pulling off this victory. No, it does not put the ownership off the hook at all, because when your supporters club asks you to respond, you cannot ignore it. You just cannot. It's going to be, typical media speak, if you will. Response. I think we know that they're monitoring the situation and they are concerned as well. And I think that's all we're going to get.
Well, then why didn't we get it already? They could have crafted that non-message and
It's
posted
got
it by
to
Friday.
change 5 or 6 hands to edit it and, proofread it before they put it out, Cody. Come on.
Well, also,
You just described an afternoon. That is an afternoon of work.
But there were also like different things that were addressed in the letter. There's the on-field performance,
Right.
and winning against Seattle in Seattle buys them another week. If we got blown off the field, maybe Vermes doesn't make it home, right? Like there's different, kind of ever evolving calculus for the ownership in terms of what's happening on the pitch. The other part of it was what's happening off the pitch, which they said like, you keep raising our ticket prices, you keep raising the concessions prices. The concessions suck. And that's all stuff that can immediately be addressed, right? If the play on the field is bad, at least give us something good, at least make the rest of it fun. But also, I don't know how easy it is to just take $5 off the cost of everything. Like your water bottles are now, you can keep the cap to your water bottle and it will cost you $2 less. I don't know how easy it is for Jake Reed to just snap his fingers and do that. So, what is a lip service letter really going to look like, right? I think I'd be more curious to see if ownership was willing to meet with the Cauldron and talk about these things.
Right.
Like, hey, look, we understand what you're saying. I can't change the price of the hot dog today. They could really, but like we hear you. We're working on it, and then they'd have to actually show something moving forward. But I'm curious to see what the response is going to be.
The point about raising prices of concessions wasn't that long ago, maybe a couple years ago, that they actually lowered the price of, like, the big can of beer went down 50 cents, and I think a hot dog went down 50 cents or something like that. So I actually thought I might have been giving them credit for that for a couple years for doing that 1 year, but I was thinking that our concessions were pretty fairly priced when you look around stadium and event concession prices.
Well, but I mean, it's all perspective, right? Which is, it's way cheaper than the Royals and the Chiefs, but it's more expensive than it had been. And the ticket prices for the Cauldron keep going up, and they're still relatively cheap. It's what, like $450, I think, a year for season tickets. But that's more than it had been, right? The prices keep going up. And so I think fans are frustrated by that. And I know me personally, when I started going to games in the Cauldron, the food option was Grinders, which was good. It's a Kansas City establishment. And at one point, Sporting brought all the concessions in-house.
Yeah.
And the options haven't been great. And they constantly change. There was a world kitchen kind of thing over by the South Stand. And I had a gyro last year that was so bad that the bread it was like cardboard and just kept breaking apart. Well, that place doesn't even exist anymore. Right. So
every year at Media Day, they're like launching a whole new menu of food. I'm like, what the hell? You did this last year. Like, if that menu was good, why are we doing this every year? Right.
Well, and at one point they had BRGR, but I don't remember if are still around or not. There's a burger place, but I think fans would prefer to have places like Grinders or, and I know the biggest one the Cauldron is mad about is going from Boulevard to Budweiser.
Yeah, that was always a big one. It's a really tough situation because, like you said, David, there's not much you can say or actually do in this response that is going to change a whole lot. So it's just kind of a no-win thing. The Cauldron had to send the letter. The team has to respond, but none of it is really going to do a whole lot. It's for appearances, and that's what you're supposed to do, and they just need to let the fans know something here. You gotta give us something. And maybe they will wait until they'll just kick the can down the road until we lose again.
Winning cures all.
Yeah,
I'd say that.
I don't think anybody would care what the pregame video package was like or what the food was like. I mean, if we were undefeated and just crushing everybody, nobody would care what the price of the hot dog was. But if we're gonna be like one of the worst teams of all time, then you better give me good value.
All right, gentlemen. Anything we've missed? We had to do the Sunday. Everything was thrown off this week. The 2 games on Sunday, weird times. We normally record on Sunday. We had a whole show ready to go, and then Thad's audio doesn't work. It really messed us up. But I think we've covered the game tonight well enough. We didn't really get to the current. Almost came back 3-2 loss in LA tonight. But any final thoughts here, boys?
So real quick question. What do you guys think of the Chicago Fire not permitting 2 of their players to go play for the Under-20 World Cup?
Why did they not do it?
I don't know. As a Hendrickson came out and said, we're not releasing the players. I don't know if he actually gave a reason.
I think it will do a whole lot to damage player relations for that club.
I think so too. Yeah.
But
like Tony was saying today in the broadcast, you've got to let them go. It's an opportunity they may never have again.
But I haven't followed it enough to know how vital those players are. But let's say it was Sporting and like Busio, and we're fighting for survival, and they call Busio up to the U20 World Cup, and you're like, well, we kind of need him more than we need him to leave. It would be real bad for us if he left. So I don't know the situation. I have to imagine that's what it is, though.
Okay, so the game is on Wednesday. I don't know what that means for Thad and I on Tuesday at training, if we'll be able to get an interview this week. But I do believe we will be back sometime this week with content in some other form. Thad and I did a trial run last week of something, so we might try that again this week. We'll see.
Yeah, you guys did a good interview of Gadi Kinda.
We did, yes. Go check. Thank you, David, for that. Go check out the Gadi Kinda interview.
And Thad.
Yes, it was not just me. It was Thad and I that were there doing it. Yeah, it was good. I realized kind of in the middle of that conversation that we don't really hear from him a lot. It might have just been because it was a long time since he's been around, but even when he, before that, I don't ever remember hearing from him a whole lot. I haven't heard him speak at length about much, so it was very good to talk to him. He's definitely excited to be back. He was smiling. So go check out that interview. And
also, everybody needs to go to the Kansas City Soccer Journal, which is where we write, and where you can find all of our other content. But Robert has written 2 really cool pieces where he interviewed Declan. Is it Declan Yogi?
Yeah,
who's the academy director. So Robert, it's 2 parts so far. Is there another piece coming?
No, those are the 2. There's a little bit more of the interview on the part I did with the Victory Project as well, too. But yeah, Declan, what a fabulous guy he is.
Yeah.
Really knows his stuff. He's very passionate, and appreciate that, David. And yeah, Cody, we did have Gadi Kinda on the media day. Did do that pod. So
yes. I wasn't sure if we should get him again for that, but no, I figured enough time has passed. That seemed like the biggest get you could get right now. He's back. Come on, that's what we need. It was good to hear from him.
Definitely.
So check out our site, KC Soccer Journal, Kansas City Soccer Journal. Cody, where can the people find you to complain about our page?
I'm at that Cody though.
And Robert, where can we find you?
At SPKC Life.
And Thad from the chat.
That back post.
He's at the back post.
Please
and
go.
I don't have Twitter.
Oh yeah, he does. He lurks. I thought that was. That's why I got excited there. I thought he was about to unleash it on the world so that everyone could complain to him.
Deleted.
But please go subscribe, rate, and review. Thank you to everyone the like 5 people that have done that over the last month or so. We really appreciate that. Bumped us up a couple notches. So. If you're a perennial listener, please go give us some support there. We would very much appreciate it. And let's keep this winning ways going. We'll talk to you later this week. Go Sporting!
Don't seem so tough. And 3 own goals ain't all that rough. Our skipper has just been sent off. Supporters strong have all gone soft. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. Give me beer or whiskey, wine or gin. Anything to shake this mood I'm in. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking. My football team's got me drinking.